step. Follow me. Hello, and welcome to the Kearney Math Show. Thank you all for tuning in today. On today's episode of the Kearney Math Show, we are going to be featuring exponents and order of operations. So before we get started, go ahead and write entry number 9 at the top of your mini lesson and your name. Entry 9 and your name. So by the end of today, guys, I want to make sure that you all are able to use order of operations. And you guys have been probably using order of operations for several years. The difference is now we're going to add some negatives in there. So we're using positives and negatives. So before we get started, let's just do a quick review of what is an exponent. So if you have 2 to the 3rd power, exponents shows repeated multiplication. So this right here is my base, and this is my exponent. Okay? And the exponent indicates how many times to multiply the base by itself. So 2 to the 3rd power means I'm not multiplying 2 times 3, I'm multiplying 2 by itself 3 times. So 2 times 2 times 2. Okay? So we can quickly fill in this chart and see that 2 to the 4th power right here is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Okay, 2 to the 5th power. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So basically what we just got, which was 16, and then we're going to multiply it by 2 again, which is 32. Okay? But if we look up here, there's one that's not filled in. 2 to the 0 power. So this is kind of a tricky one, and I'm going to explain it. You know, Miss Kearney loves patterns, so I'm going to show it to you using a pattern. So I want you to consider your chart. And I want you to look, we're going to work backwards, okay? So 2 to the 5th power was 32. What did we do to get from 32 to 16? What can you do to 32 to get to 16? You can divide by 2. How can you get from 16 to 8? And guys, that doesn't look like it, but it's supposed to be an arrow. So from here to here, okay? Divide by 2. And how do I get to the next one? I divide by 2. And 8 to 4, I'm going to divide by 2. So if I keep going, I'm going to divide by 2. So 2 to the 1st power is 2. So if I divide 2 divided by 2, so I divide by 2, 2 divided by 2 would be 1. So 2 to the 0 power is 1. And that can work for any problem, okay? Anything to the 0 power right here, this is special case. Any base to the 0 power is always, always, always going to be 1. So for example, 10 to the 0 power is 1. 200,000 to the 0 power is 1. 1 bazillion to the 0 power is 1. Okay? So I'm going to do 1 or 2 exponent problems with you really quickly. Okay? Let's look at number 3. If we have negative 4 to the 3rd power, that means we're going to say negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. So using integer man, you're going to multiply negative 4 times negative 4. And so using integer man, let's have no fear. Integer man is here. So a negative times a negative is positive 16. And positive 16 times negative 4 is negative 54. Okay? And then that's a little different than this one, negative 2 to the 2nd power. The difference is is you see that number 3, the negative was inside of the parentheses. And number 4, the negative is not. That means you basically have 2 to the second power, and then the negative is just kind of out front. So 2 to the second power, 2 times 2 is 4, and then you have the negative out front. Okay? So, moving on to the next section where it says, what is an operation? So there are 4 basic operations. Give me one of the operations. Give me another one. And another one. And another one. So the 4 basic operations are addition, and addition is just simply a plus sign. We might have subtraction, multiplication, and multiplication can be a little cross, it can be a dot, or you can use parentheses. Okay, and the last one is division, which can either be like this, or you might use a fraction bar. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be evaluating numerical expression. So a numerical expression, when you hear the word numerical, what do you hear? Numerical. Kind of sounds like number. So a numerical expression is an expression that contains numbers and operations. And when you have numbers and operations, you got to know which order to go in, okay? So as we're trying to figure out whether I should go, which order to go in, we've got to use, just like our video, PEMDAS. And you guys already know this. So in PEMDAS, what does the P stand for? First thing is parentheses. Okay, so always look at your problem and do what's in parentheses first. After parentheses, E stands for you're going to evaluate the exponents. Okay, then M and D, they kind of go together. Okay, they're kind of on the same level. You're going to multiply or divide in order from left to right. Okay, that's super important. Multiplication does not always have to come before division. It's whichever comes first, left to right. Okay? And then going to the top of the next sheet after PEMDAS, we have A and S, which is addition or subtraction. And same thing, guys. That's whichever comes first, left to right. Okay, so always parentheses, then exponents, but then multiplication or division, whichever comes first, left to right, and then addition and subtraction, whichever comes first, left to right. Okay, so moving on. So if you get to a problem in just a second and ask you to evaluate, that simply means to simplify. Okay, simplify it, solve it, get your answer. Okay, so let's come down here where we're actually evaluating. And I want us to look at number 1. So number 1 says evaluate, which just simply means simplify. Okay, we have -9 plus 12 times 2. So order of operations, do you see any parentheses? No. Do you see any exponents? No. Do you see any multiplication or division? Yes, so we're going to do that first. So we're going to do this right here, the 12 times 2. So we have -9 and 12 times 2 is 24. And then order of operations tells me I'm going to simply do that addition next. So think about same signs add, different signs subtract. So we have 9 red chips and 24 yellow chips. So do you have more yellow or more red? We have more yellow. And how many more yellow chips do you have? You have 15. Okay? And I'll do one more. Get you started. Okay, let's look at number 5. So number 5, what do you see that you need to do first? The parentheses. So if we do what's in parentheses first, we're going to say 36 minus And in parentheses, it's 2 times negative 6. So using integer man, what is positive 2 times negative 6? So positive 2 times negative 6, what's left over? Negative 12 divided by 3. Okay, then order of operations. Do we subtract first or we divide next? We're going to divide. So we're going to bring down 36 minus. And now negative 12 divided by positive 3. So use your integer man again. Negative 12 divided by positive 3 is negative 4. Okay, and now we have 36 minus a negative 4. And remember, if you take away negativity, what does that actually do? It adds positivity. So we're going to say 36 plus 4. And 36 plus 4 is 40. All right, so just to review today, we learned order of operations, PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And then you're going to keep using for multiplication, division, use integer man. And for addition and subtraction, keep thinking about those chips. Okay, guys? So you can go ahead and continue working on the practice on the front until we tell you to rotate. All right, good luck, guys. Make me proud. Peace out, Rainbow Trout. Love ya, mean it.